All right, guys, what's up, YouTube family? Hey, purpose. That's what we're gonna talk about today. Finding purpose. I don't know how many of you guys, you woke up today and you just feel empty. You feel like, what the hell am I doing with my life? I can tell you, if you haven't had that experience yet. First of all, if you have had that experience where you woke up and you're like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Please tell me down in the comments below. Be like, man, been there. Just say been there down in the comments below if you've been in that spot where you ask yourself, man, what the hell am I doing with my life? Because I've been in that spot, and when I was deployed at 20 years old, I had that moment. So I want to talk to you guys, and if you're in that spot right now where you feel like maybe your life is a bit of a hamster wheel, like, what am I doing with my life? Like, it's crazy, right? We wake up, we go to work to collect a paycheck, we come home, and majority of people just spend their evenings watching TV, kind of mentally checking out. And it's like our whole life ends up just, going right by, why we end up being distracted with the work that we don't want to do, with the social media, nothing that's benefiting us or making us better. Now, don't get me wrong, I think like entertainment is good, but if you spend your whole life working in areas that don't give you fulfillment, then we have a problem. One of the best pieces of advice that my mom ever gave me, let me turn this down real quick, was to not worry about to go after what you want and let the money take care of itself. Now, that was good and bad advice, because you got to pay attention to your money, or else it won't ever be there. Like, things that you give love, they grow. Things that don't get love, they die. So if you never give your money any love, it never grows, right? So you got to pay attention to it. But at the same time, she put this mentality in my head to go after what was in my heart. I never really dreamt big as a kid. Maybe you guys are the same type of way. And I didn't really know, couldn't think of myself achieving anything great in life. I never thought that I could leave the town that I grew up in. And maybe you feel like that. Maybe you feel like you're in a circle, a hamster wheel, and there's no escaping for you. Well, I'll tell you something that really helped me out, okay? And I think it can help you out, some life wisdom. And when it comes to purpose, there's a couple of things here. Number one is that a lot of people search for their purpose outside of themselves. And you really, from my experience, you do not find your purpose just by sitting and waiting for it to land on your lap. You go build the best version of you, and then you learn what your purpose is. That's what happened to me, okay? So I always tell people that your purpose is 50% calling. It's like that little whisper that's in your ear of what you think you should do, and 50% choice. You have to make a decision. Hey, this is my purpose. I'm gonna claim this. I'm gonna plant my flag in this. And when I was in the military gave us a purpose, right? But when I got out of the military, I had to create my own purpose, and a mentor helped me do that. But what I learned was that purpose is 50% calling, 50% choice. Okay. The other thing that can really help you guys out when it comes to finding your purpose in life is first is that we really do have to take inventory of how we're living. If you rewind today's clock and you go back in time and you play a video of how you lived your day, and you saw every minute of your day from the time you woke up, okay, I did this, and then the next thing I did was I did this, and then the next thing I did this. You would go through the whole day, and how much of that day did you feel like you were living on purpose? Because for many of us, man, before I started working on myself and working on personal development and being intentional with my life, my whole day would be wasted, and your whole day might have been wasted on Sunday. So now you're getting ready to go into another week. That's why I'm doing this video. You guys are getting ready to go into another week, and you're gonna go and repeat the same cycle over and over and over again. If you do not have a purpose, you're gonna wake up next Sunday in the exact same situation with the same thinking that you have right now. So let's fucking shift that, okay? So purpose is not built it's not found in the sidelines. It's actually built and found in the game. You gotta be building the best you. It's 50% calling, 50% choice. And then the next thing is the purpose that, I don't know, man. It's just like people overcomplicate this shit when it comes to purpose. I think that they spend their whole life like hoping that somebody, it's like getting knighted, right? Like they expect somebody just to come up to you and just be like, hey, here is your purpose. It's like, no, bro, like you have to accept it, and you have to be willing to like work for it. So here's the quote that really helped me, a piece of wisdom that helped me shift my trajectory in life and get in alignment with my purpose, which will help you guys. Okay? And it's, some of you guys are fucking achievers, right? You got accolade after accolade after accolade, or you're working on it, you're focused on achieving and getting. Well, I heard this quote and it changed my life, and it was, judge a man not by what he accomplishes, but judge him by who shows up at his funeral. And when I heard that, I said, dang, I wonder who would show up at my funeral. Because the reality is that, I don't know how you spent your Sunday. Maybe you connected with God. Maybe you just drank beers all day. Maybe you went to the gym. You reflected. Maybe you worked on yourself. Maybe you went into work and you spent the whole day away from your family. And you're that busy entrepreneur, that busy leader that constantly just smothers himself in work, and he's never present. Never present. If you want to completely miss your life, keep living in the future mentally and keep living in the past. Don't be present. It's one of the most difficult things for all of us to do, where our attention is constantly pulled away from the present moment. This is the present moment. But that quote, judge a man not by what he accomplishes, but by who shows up at his funeral. That quote, when I was deployed, not just in Iraq, but several times, I realized that the U.S. economy and the collective group of our country is not a person, right? The United States, or whatever country that you're in, the economy or the work that you're in, maybe you're in a business, that economy is not a person. It does not care about you. It doesn't. If your work went bankrupt, or if the United States went to war, it's not going to give two shits about you. It doesn't care about your life. It's not a person. And when I was deployed, I realized that I felt like the whole world was like constantly moving forward, and the world just didn't care about me, poor Jeremiah. So I realized that if I was going to live a life that I enjoyed, and if I wanted to go after a life that was meaningful to me, I had to live with purpose, man. I had to choose my purpose and make something out of my life, because the world does not care about me. People in your life might care about you, but if something happens to you, do you think your job is going to call you? Do you think that the military is going to call you? Do you think that the system is going to call you? No, the system is going to keep turning. It's going to keep building. It's going to keep growing, and you're just an afterthought. You're not even an afterthought. So you're over here constantly achieving, right? You're trying to make more money, do these next things. Keep achieving, by the way. Don't give up on growth. You should keep growing, absolutely. But you need to ask yourself if you're growing in the direction that you want. Are you living on purpose? Because if you can just simply make the decision to live on purpose and not live as a reaction and everybody else's puppet, and you can choose to measure your life success by who shows up to your funeral, now you'll be on the right path, man. And you will start to find fulfillment. And if you don't have your purpose, you'll start to find your purpose on that path. So guys, I'm going to finish this up with a couple pieces of wisdom that I gave you. Your purpose is 50% calling, 50% choice. Okay? And judge a man not by what he accomplishes, but by who shows up to his funeral. I hope you guys choose to live this week on purpose, and here's some wisdom, on purpose that can help you guys elevate, so that next Sunday you're not in the exact same spot, hating your life, missing life, and letting it roll by. All right, let's focus on being present this week and living on purpose. Conquer all.